Coming to you from the depths of the galaxy, bringing you hot takes, hot news, and spicy discussions about games. We are the Uneducated Gamers! This episode is brought to you by GalaxyGameTV.com and Shipping Shield, creator of the cardboard top loader alternative, environmentally safe shipping card protection made in the USA. Go to ShippingShieldUS.com for more details.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Uneducated Gamers podcast. I am Michael.
And I am Chris.
And we are the Uneducated Gamers. Welcome back, Chris. It's been nice to have you back in the office.
Yeah, no kidding.
In the office.
In air quotes, the office.
In the time zone.
Yeah, man, it was a very much needed for the benefit of the audience. I was been out on vacation this past week with the family, and very much needed. Not going to sell it short, but it was great. It was super great.
Wonderful.
Lot has happened in the past week or so that I was like, oh, should I reach out to Mike and be like, do we do a quick episode? Do I sneak away?
No, you're on vacation. Stay on vacation. Do not call me on vacation. I actually felt bad because I would see stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna send Chris this. I'm like, no, wait, stop. I gotta not bug him. I still sent you a couple of things, but.
Oh, I was still keeping several eyes open across a lot of the different things, and including getting to do March of the Machine pre-release, which we'll get to later. But that was exciting. That was fun. Got to play a lot of video games. I brought my Switch with me, so that was great. Played a lot of Arena, so got a lot of things in that I haven't been able to do for a while because we've been quite busy.
Oh yeah, I finally got 1,000 points of World Eaters painted up for 40K, and
Nice.
the World Eaters Combat Patrol releases, well, not releases. It becomes available for pre-order this weekend. So I talked to the connections I have at my local game store, and they already wrote me down for for a World Eaters Combat Patrol.
Nice.
I first saw this in an IGN tweet, but there was a trailer for a game called Unrecord that looks absolutely wild.
Yeah, I saw this while I was on vacation. This was one of those ones that kind of stuck out to me and watched this. And I actually watched this IGN trailer probably about 15 times because I was trying to discern how realistic this looks and whether this is like faked video or if this is an actual game. You could tell if you watch it at the highest quality that it's definitely a game. There's no doubt about that. But boy, is the graphic fidelity in this and just the action of it just looks amazing.
It looks amazing. For context, Unrecord is a game where you play as a tactical cop going on missions, and the trailer that was posted showed so it's like it's like body cam footage, so you can see like you holding your weapon out in front of you and stuff, but it's got like a fisheye lens, and so it looks like body cam footage, and you're a tactical cop. And the footage that was shown was the character was traversing like this rundown industrial concrete area, trying to find someone that was on the run, and there was like it almost seemed like a horror game. Like everything was super quiet. It was intended to be unsettling, and you would have like there's no monster or anything, but when the guy you were chasing like suddenly popped out from behind the concrete and like sprinted across the room, I definitely jumped a little.
Yeah, I think the interactive elements of both being minimalistic on your what's in front of you, as well as the spherical look of the body cam video, and just the overall aesthetics just makes this thing super pleasing. And I think it's like in my opinion, I feel like this is a cool blend of like Resident Evil meets The Last of Us, but with like body cam footage.
Yeah, well, and the fact that there's no zombies.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
It's just like a hyper real police cam game.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
I hope hopefully like what we saw is just like super alpha, and it's going to be worked out more on kind of like a premise and such, which will be kind of cool to kind of learn more about. But I think overall as a tech demo, this is fantastic.
Next on the list, I have to roll back some uneducated opinions. I think we made fun a little bit of Vampire Survivors on a previous episode, but it was super on sale. I got it for like $2 on Steam. Like, I'll give it a try, and it was actually a ton of fun. I have to admit, I played like 5 hours of it already.
Oh wow, yeah. I would consider that a stamp of approval for 5 hours.
Oh yeah, it was a good time. It very much reminds me of some of the old like 2D shoot 'em up kind of games.
Mm-hmm.
Very very arcadey, but it's overwhelming at times to the point where it's like a bullet hell game almost. It's somewhere between like arcade shoot 'em up and a bullet hell game tied together with RPG elements. And at least early, for as little time as I've put into it so far, it seems like there's always like more to find. It's not just like, oh, I played for 20 minutes, I leveled up my character, and it's a roguelike, by the way. So you get through the level, you level up your character, you eventually die, and you got to start over with nothing again. You keep some amount of, you can spend the points you earn on like permanent power-ups and whatever have you, but you start at level 1 in each level. But it's not just like running through the levels and just for the grind for the sake of the grind. Like there's hidden items to find and characters to unlock and everything have you. So it's entertaining. It's definitely entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like I thought it looked very interesting. I was somewhat interested in it, but I was like, I got a lot of these types of games. Like I feel like it's like any other game. Like how would you rate it to any other like roguelike that you may have played? Like does it hold water with others? Like say the likes of things like I don't know, Curse of what is it? Blood Cursed or some of the other ones?
It's not as good as Hades.
Okay.
Hades is a better game overall, but I don't think it's trying to be that. It's just supposed to be fun arcade style game, something that you play for 3-4 hours over a couple of days, put it down, and then come back to it.
Got it.
Whereas Hades has like it's trying to be an in-depth story with developed characters and like.
Okay.
It's fun. It's just fun, and it's a good game for someone who doesn't have a lot of time. Because you don't need to spend that much time on it to fully immerse in it.
So, what's the regular price in the game? What is it, like $10?
I need to double check. I think it might be as high as like $20 or something like that, but I got it for like $2.
Okay. The question is would it be worth full ticket price?
It probably would be. I think you're gonna spend enough time on it that it definitely would be. Let me see here. We go to the Steam store. I guess $4.99 is the normal price.
Oh,
it's a
okay.
$5 game. Yeah, just toss the $5 in it, give it a try.
All right, I'll do it.
It's definitely worth $5.
Can you play it with a controller, or is it keyboard and mouse only?
I've been playing keyboard and mouse. I would assume you can play with a controller. I don't know why not.
Okay.
You're basically just moving, in the 4 cardinal directions or the 8 cardinal directions.
Oh, right. Okay. So almost like your movement is very similar to, like, say, Gauntlet in that way. Yeah. Okay.
It's like Gauntlet with you continue to stack auto fire weapons on top of each other.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Next on the list, this I don't know if this is going to be enough for a full episode, but I wanted to mention it. MTG sends Pinkerton after the random YouTuber who leaked Mom Aftermath.
Yeah. This
has
guy.
been developing more and more since I threw this on our quick bits list, but it's really funny.
This poor guy. I mean, so the latest update is that he gave on his channel. First off, he took down the videos, obviously, for reasons, and he did mention in his video, like, the Pinkerton people came out and scared the crap out of my wife, kind of thing, and
he didn't expect mob guys to show up.
No, they were very. He kind of, like, softly alluded to they were, like, slightly aggressive to them, but didn't really call it out specifically. He was very careful how he sort of approached it, but
they made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
They made an offer I couldn't refuse, eh? But I guess he talked to somebody at Wizards as well, and they've kind of just talked things out. They hashed it out.
Reportedly, his conversation with the Wizards support rep was actually quite, like, civil.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, like, the people that I've talked to at Wizards previously, and obviously the people that I know that work at Wizards, everybody's very nice. Like, they don't generally mean ill will about people. One of the things I will say to this about the whole Pinkerton thing, right, is a lot of people call them, like, the mob or thugs for loss prevention or what have you, and they kind of are. But at the same time, when you have a company, right, like Wizards and Hasbro, who own multiple properties, and they need to protect their works, so to speak.
Sure.
I honestly, now, granted, the methodology of Pinkerton, I think, is quite aggressive in times, but that is not at the fault of the company hiring them.
I think originally they were, like, enforcers for union busting practices, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
So, like, that doesn't seem like someone you want to associate yourself with if you want good PR.
No, but Pinkerton is no longer run by the same methodologies that they used to be. Like, they are now owned and subsidized by another company who
they still sent an enforcer to a random civilian's house to say, "Hey, you stole this thing that we sent you on accident. Give it back."
Yeah. I mean, it was slightly aggressive. He kind of didn't. He alluded to it, but not, like, completely, like, like, said that they were a-holes or anything. But it's interesting. Whatever. It's intellectual property that's leaked out. What else do you expect them to do, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Games Workshop had similar stuff going on earlier, and there was a funny meme on it on Grimdank here. I think I just sent it to you. Games Workshop last month or the month before, however long ago it was, accidentally sent out an unreleased champion model called Commander Dante to some random game store, and the LGS guy said, "Oh, this is cool. I'm gonna paint this up and show it to people." And Games Workshop basically said, "Oh, our bad. Cool paint job. Guess this guy's revealed now." Meanwhile, Wizards of the Coast is sending in, like, mob enforcers because of the exact same type of error.
Well, okay. I think, though, it is slightly different, right? Because the Games Workshop... Let me ask this, though. The Game Workshop thing, was that a store that did it, or was that a private citizen that did it?
It was a... the store ordered product, they sent him the wrong product. Included in that wrong product was an unreleased model that they hadn't shown off yet.
Right, so there wasn't like somebody at home like opening up the box and showing a bunch of product that has not been released yet or even announced.
But it's the same thing. He showed off the box, he opened it, he built and painted the model, posted on social media.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same. It's the same. Due to a shipping error on no fault of the person receiving it, they got stuff that was unreleased and they decided to show it, open it up and show it off. Games Workshop said, haha, funny, cool paint job, we're going to use this, we're going to spin this for us. Games Workshop said, you want to experience a mob movie?
Okay, all right, well, hold on a second. I hear you, but here, this is what I'll say about that, and I'll leave it at this. I don't want to go too far into it, but it would be different if it was just like the promo for the set versus an entire booster box of the set. So if somebody had like all the models and opened every single model that hadn't been released yet and then showed everybody and painted them online, I guess.
If it was a 10th edition starter kit or something.
Right.
The 10th edition launch box rather than one model.
Yeah.
They probably would have been a little more upset, but it's still the company's fault.
It's not actually so it's not Games Workshop's fault and it's not Wizards' fault. It's whoever sent it out by accident. And I'll tell you.
Okay.
Again, the distributor too, right? Like, so like the guy who he bought those boxes from, right? Like the guy didn't even know. Like he explained in his video, like he was like March of the Machines. It says March of the Machines on the box. Like nobody looks at the sub name of it. How many sub names of the same set do you have, right?
Right.
And the guy's not even a Magic dealer. I mean, he sells Magic, but he's not like focused on Magic. So, in my opinion, honest mistake. The distributor sent the wrong crap. Whatever. Move on.
Yep. Big Warhammer reveals coming at Warhammer Fest this weekend. 10th edition gameplay plus the full 10th edition starter box reveals. Was pretty sure they've explicitly said there will be 10th edition gameplay. I'm pretty sure that means the starter box is going to be revealed. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not. They've already been showing off some of the new Space Marine and Tyranid models. Everything looks super fantastic. I don't even like Space Marines as a faction, and that Terminator Librarian is just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, you sent that over Discord, and by the way, speaking of Discord, anyone who wants to get on our Discord and check out any of the things that we talk about ahead of time, we do that in Discord, and we have a lot of chatter in Discord. So, in order to get access to our Discord, go check out our Patreon. Link is in our description, and we're gonna have a lot of giveaways too coming up very, very soon, including some limited run Nintendo Switch games. So, more on that soon. But sorry, did want to throw that promo in there, but you kind of leaned right into that.
There you go. I mean, it's our show. Promote the Discord, right?
Yeah.
I'm sending you some pictures. I should be posting these in the Discord. I shouldn't just be sending them to you personally. Uneducated Gamers. Here we go. So some of the models have already showed off. Here's that Space Marine Terminator. They've showed off 2 not only refreshed Tyranid models, but 2 brand new models for the Tyranids, which is super exciting. This most recent one is a Tyranid Prime with wings that looks absolutely sick. Tyranid Prime is basically just like the Tyranid warriors are like a regular troop, and the Prime is like the leader troop. This one's got wings, and it's really sick. The other one they showed was like a named Death Leaper, Von Ryan's Death Leaper, and these look really awesome.
So that Terminator, I would love. You see where that ukulele is behind me?
Uh-huh.
I would build that sucker and put it right there.
This is like the 3rd time you've said that to me. I'm like, I keep trying to think, I should get him a Warhammer model for his birthday, and I'll build it and paint it for him. But like every time you see a different one, you're like, oh, I want that one. Oh, I want that one. I'm like, I don't know what to get him.
I'm sure whatever it is that you do, I will be excited because some of the things that you've been showing me, you haven't converted me over yet to be a Warhammer enthusiast. However, I am a sucker for cool ass models.
The models are just cool, even if
Yeah.
you don't want to play the game.
Yeah. Exactly.
Next on Quick Bits, a pre-order trailer drops for a new Souls-like game named Strayed Lights. It looks like a stripped-down but fun, kind of magic-y based, almost cel-shaded Souls game. This was a link my wife sent me. She thought it looked really cool.
You know, this game kind of reminds me of what was that game? I think it came out. Did it come out on the GameCube or was it the Wii? But it was with the dog, if you remember.
Oh, yes. It was a dog spirit with like a red...
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but that game was apparently very good.
Yes, yeah. This is what it kind of reminds me of. And it actually kind of excites me with that because I never got a chance to play that game.
Okami.
Okami, yes, thank you. I never got a chance to really play that game, but I always wanted to. Maybe I should think about getting it. Because I actually think it came out. I believe they released it on the Switch too, but I'll have to check it out. But that's when I saw this, and when you had this in here, and I took a peek at it. This was one of those that I was like, oh yeah, this looks kind of cool.
This was another piece of news that slid in under the radar for the show notes. UK Competition and Markets Authority has moved to prevent Xbox's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, citing implications for anti-competition in the cloud gaming market. I have seen the news go back and forth on this for like a month and a half. I remember early on where the UK was like, oh, it's going to be anti-competitive for cloud gaming. That was specifically their argument to begin with. But then there was a point where I thought they were saying it was fine. And then there was news out of like South Africa or something that said they're going to allow it. I remember that. And now the news came in today again that said, oh, just kidding. It's anti-competitive. We're not allowing it.
So this doesn't make sense because we talked about this a couple of times, and I think we ultimately discussed this at length in a couple of instances, more length than we probably wanted to. But one of the things that I find confusing about this argument is that Activision Blizzard is not actively in the cloud gaming space. So how is this? How? I'm trying to understand that argument, and I
think they're trying to define Xbox Game Pass as cloud gaming. It's not, by definition, cloud gaming, but
okay. Hold on though. When you talk about the people who do this in the industry, right? Who does cloud gaming right now? Xbox and PlayStation.
And PlayStation barely.
Well, more or less Switch barely. PlayStation does it with their PlayStation Plus and their access to older catalog games. That's all cloud gaming.
Fair enough. Well, but I think that's part of the issue, though, right? Because you've got Microsoft, which is huge. You've got Sony, which is definitely a giant, but kind of not anywhere big as Microsoft is anymore, in my opinion. And then Nintendo, which is just kind of peeking in under the radar.
But how does this acquisition play in that perspective when it doesn't really matter? Because with this acquisition or not, Microsoft still is currently the leader in this technology to do this.
Yes, and preventing them to get this will help prevent Microsoft from further cementing themselves as the only one.
That's not true because they can secure
it's
license.
Specifically that it's Activision though, right? Because Sony is fighting tooth and nail to not lose like primary access to Call of Duty. That's what this really comes down to.
No, but Microsoft has already said and Sony has refused the 10-year embargo on not making it exclusive, right? And so I guess what I'm getting at here, right, is what really makes this confusing, right? Microsoft can still license Call of Duty or any of their other games to be played in the cloud, regardless if they go for the acquisition or not, right? Because Call of Duty is not exclusive to just PlayStation.
It's not.
And
but this prevents Microsoft from owning Activision. It's weird that they're saying cloud gaming is specifically what they're citing. That's I agree with that. But Microsoft needs to not be huge.
But I guess what I think is ridiculous about that is Sony still owns more of the real estate when it comes to gaming studios that are exclusive and overall across the board. So
I don't know that that's true. Microsoft has been buying everything over the last few years.
Understood. A lot of what they've purchased is
and they buy big stuff.
Right, but they've mostly been buying independent. Whereas Sony is a huge exclusive licensee of many massive titles. More than Microsoft. Way more than Microsoft.
Microsoft has Mojang, which is huge. They have 343, which is huge. They have Obsidian, which is huge.
But Minecraft is not exclusive.
ZeniMax, Bethesda, which is huge.
But Microsoft is. But any of those games are not exclusive.
Yeah, but it's not about exclusivity. It's ownership.
Well,
it's Disney owns 75% of media in the world. Like we don't want to make Microsoft the Disney of gaming.
But if they are still trying to open it up to be more accessible versus what Sony is doing, nana boo boo, go somewhere else. I don't really care.
Sure, that's what they're doing now, but if they end up being 75% of the industry, there's nothing that could stop them from saying, actually, we're just going to sit back on our laurels and gatekeep all of these video games.
Yeah, I don't...
That's the problem with monopolization, is it's not a problem now, it's a problem later.
Microsoft doesn't own the gaming console market. They don't, and they never have. That's not their core audience, right? That's not their core moneymaker. Their moneymaker is PC, right? And a lot of these games that come out on console almost never come out on PC because there's not enough backing in order to say, let's make that game a PC game as well, right? So what I think Microsoft's angle here is they become partners with us in within our umbrella in order to really be able to expand their capabilities from a PC market. Sony owns, like, hands down, between Sony and Nintendo, they blow Xbox out of the water 100% in the console market. Anybody that tells you differently is stupid.
Rockefeller could have adopted every orphan on the planet and gifted every one of them a puppy, and he still shouldn't have owned as much of the industry as he did. Like, I don't care. It's just a liability.
I think, though, like, in my opinion, like, here, let me explain it this way. If Microsoft bought Square Enix, I would absolutely love that. You know why? Because then almost everybody could play Final Fantasy, not just PlayStation users. That's the part that just, like, think about that.
That's a Square Enix problem, though, not an ownership problem.
No, it's an ownership problem because Sony has major stake in Square Enix.
Okay.
They're an exclusive publisher.
Sure. But
so,
this is the solution to that is not monopolization.
No, the solution is to have a company who doesn't care about monopolization and shares the games across all platforms as much as they can. That's the point of it all. In my opinion. I don't know.
Update on the Mario Bros. Movie: $892 million worldwide so far. 50-50 split international with U.S. What does that note mean?
So right now, it's kind of crazy. The split of the revenue of that game, or that movie is damn near split down the middle, international and domestic.
Okay, so it's roughly 900 million. 450 of that is domestic. 450 is foreign.
Yeah, and which is crazy because if you think of games, oh my gosh, movies like Frozen and others, like international over time kind of dips down, and the U.S. market takes over.
Yeah.
Right? And that's generally speaking how that happens. But where we at today, it has stayed steady, neck and neck, 50% contribution to the global, worldwide gross profits of this movie.
That's just impressive.
And at 892 million worldwide, we still have probably about another 3 to 4 weeks left of this movie to be in theaters.
I think it'll touch $1 billion. I think it'll get there. It's not going to hit the 1.6 that you're predicting.
It's going to hit 1.6.
It's just not. Even if it was the best movie in the whole world, theater attendance just isn't what it was 2 years ago.
What's going to happen is marketing blitz is going to happen in the next week or so, especially with Zelda coming out. And that marketing blitz is going to get people, oh, we got to go see it before it's out of the theaters. And they're going to have like a massive rush for the last 2 weeks of this release because they're going to have this marketing ploy that kind of just trickles out with the release of Zelda, and it's going to just like poof. It's gonna.
If they could do it, I would be very happy for them.
Yeah, we'll see. I think you're right,
especially with as much international appeal as they have. Like if they get like the Chinese audiences or the Indian audiences, you know, those really high density population areas, to get like one final rush in, that's going to push them a lot of the way over.
Yeah, I do think you're right though. I want it to. I really want it to be at that 1.6. But I think it's going to be probably more about the 1.1, at
1.1, is where it's going to tap out. I just think there's just not enough people. Yeah. Raw bodies is the issue.
But 1.2 billion, that's not too shabby, man. That is not too shabby.
That's $1.2 billion. If anything I ever made that much money, I would just quit. I'd be done. That's it. Going home.
We'd become educated gamers at that point.
I would pay for an education.
Because all we would be doing is be like, Mike, what are we playing today, buddy? I don't know.
March of the Machines.
Or better known
love this set. I haven't investigated as much as this set as I would have liked to yet, but this looks like a really good set.
Better known as Mom in the Magic community, but March of the Machines, I'm going to say, is a absolutely fantastic set. And what I'm doing right now, everybody can hear it on the microphone. I just opened a bundle. We're going to do some pack one, pick one, but let's go ahead and we'll talk.
We're going to open some packs today. All right.
We're going to open some packs, but we can talk about what's going on in the world of March of Machines as I start to unbox this thing.
Now, here's another question. This was a box. I was thinking about picking up a draft booster to bring to your birthday for us to open. Are you already in possession of like 17 boxes of this? Is that going to be just adding to the pile?
So I'm actually I'm in possession of 15 pre-release packs ready to go.
Okay, so it would be unhelpful for me to bring another draft box.
I mean, you know, when we do these birthday things, we like to draft. Keep in mind, right? I think in the I think the pre-release packs are they set boosters? No, they're draft boosters. No,
They would have to be draft boosters. You can't really draft set boosters.
no, but
Well,
you're
you
not.
can, but
But you're not drafting. You're not drafting with pre-release, right?
oh, it's sealed. You're
It's
right. You're right.
sealed.
You're right.
So I actually have to look. March of the Machines.
If they're set boosters, that's a different story. I definitely want to snag some of that. I'm stuck between getting a box of this or getting another box of MH2 because MH2 is I think my favorite set of
my
all
God.
time.
Yeah, I'm H2, hands
It's
down.
probably my favorite set of all time, and it's still only $200. I don't know if you know that.
Really?
It's
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
$200.
Okay, yeah. So March of the Machines pre-release packs are draft boosters. They're not set boosters.
Okay.
The bundles though are set boosters.
Oh, that makes sense.
But yeah, no, I would say the one thing that I really love about March of the Machine, and I didn't know this until we started, until I did the pre-release and started opening packs, and I opened a Croxa from Theros Beyond, but it's a different art and what have you. It's a showcase card. And I mean, I guess this is the uneducated part about that whole thing for me was I did not realize that the showcase cards in this set are like masterpieces, so they're like kind of reprints. And that threw me a little bit because then I opened a Voraclex, I opened up Elish Norn. Yeah, I had a really sick pre-release pack. And
they're masterpieces from different eras of Magic, right? Like there's some
Yes.
Amonkhet frame ones, and there's some
Kaladesh.
Kaladesh frame. Is it Ragavan that's in the Kaladesh frame?
Ragavan is in the Kaladesh. There's a few of them that are in the Kaladesh frame. Speaking of, I do have those 4 monkeys in the Kaladesh frame. I had to get them. I had to.
Let the monkeys hit the floor.
Let the monkeys hit the floor? Yeah. Okay.
I was doing a drowning pool thing.
But no, this set is absolutely phenomenal to play sealed for sure. I did multiple pre-releases while on vacation, and I can't. It's funny because I could not stop playing this the sealed on Arena. I was just like, it was like a slot machine. Doo-doo, another, doo-doo, another, doo-doo, another. And I haven't felt this way since Ixalan. Which, by the way, Ixalan, I top 8'd my my sealed PTQ. And back then, it
Very
was
nice.
still PTQs. But I couldn't draft it worth crap. But anyways, yeah, man. I mean, I know you haven't had a chance to play this yet, but I highly recommend it, and I can't wait until I can play this set with you.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm really excited to draft this.
What are some of the cards though? Even though you haven't played it yet, what are some of the cards that you see in this set that sort of kind of gravitate to?
Well, the new cycle of Praetors is super cool. I'm always going to be a sucker for Praetors. They're not always like the best cards in the world, but like we've got another Elish Norn, we've got another Shieldred. I don't remember what I've only seen so far Elish Norn and Shieldred, so I don't know what the others actually do yet. I'm really in love with this backup mechanic, actually. I've only seen it on a couple of cards, but it's the when this creature enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, any target, including itself. If you choose to put it on a different creature than the one that just entered, that creature gains some ability until the end of turn, and that ability will be listed on the card. So it's a bunch of like synergistic creature buffing, very like 5-color humans kind of gameplay, but like
the backup. So the backup the backup ability on there. So I think that's what you're talking about, like the backup ability, the +1/+1 and gain.
Yeah.
So that actually, I'm not gonna lie, the multiple times that it came into play in the gameplay, both online and in person, it's actually it's a lot cooler than it reads. Because it really makes you think what target you want, what card you want to target. Especially if you play. So I really focused on staying low to the ground. Low mana cost creatures, especially with limited. That's a very key point of limited, right? You want to get creatures out early, and then play buff. So I played black white. Which really leaned into that backup mechanic very, very heavily, and Convoke, which really then becomes a really interesting combination. Not to mention with like prowess and some of the other stuff that is in here. So once you stack all in up, it gets a little complicated, but I'm really for it. I think the complexity of this set is very even, and it's very well managed across the different cards.
It's not complex in like a Velky God of Lies or a Questing Beast sort of way, where it's just like wall of text that I just don't want to read. It's complex in like an Adeptus Mechanicus stacking buffs kind of way.
Yeah.
Like if you really know what you're doing, you can get some wild stuff to happen. Which is what I much prefer about Magic.
Yeah, and I think one of the other things that this set finally kind of like enabled across multiple formats now is the errata of cards being Phyrexian, right? So the Phyrexian creature type being a very prominent factor in a lot of different things has really made some of these cards shine. And what I mean by that is I even think of cards like Phyrexian Censor. So it's a two of any color in white. Each player can't cast more than one non-Phyrexian spell each turn. Non-Phyrexian creatures enter the battlefield tapped. For a 3/3 body for 3 that does that, that's pretty sweet. And it's a wizard, by the way. Wizard,
oh, yeah.
Wizard's a very, very important keyword in Modern.
And in Legacy. Legacy has had a Wizards deck for a while.
Yeah, and Legacy. So that is a pretty bomb-ass card for an uncommon.
Did you say there's an errata? So, like, how much of old Magic is getting errata to be Phyrexian?
Oh, there's a crap ton. Like, so I am going to put in the Discord a link to Saffron Olive's post. He did a really good job at sort of doing a MTGO wall. But just to name a few of these, right? There is, let's see here.
All the old Praetors, I imagine.
Yeah, a lot of the old Praetors. There's a bunch of others too, though, right? So Wormcoil Engine is now Phyrexian.
Oh.
Gristlebrand is now Phyrexian.
What?
Or not Gristlebrand. No, not Gristlebrand. What is that?
I was gonna say he has nothing to do with Phyrexian.
No, sorry. Gallowbrand. Back the old days. The
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see what else. There's a few others. A lot of the cards that had Phyrexian in the name of the card, like Phyrexian Soul Gorger, back from Ice Age. Those are now have the Phyrexian keyword.
What's the quadruple black one? The Phyrexian Negator or something?
Yeah.
The one where every time you deal damage to it, your opponent sacks a bunch of permanents?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah. Massacre Worm is now Phyrexian.
Nice.
Obligator. Phyrexian Obligator.
Obliterator.
Obliterator. Yeah, Obliterator.
Yeah.
Skrillex, the Blight, the dragon thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this opens up a lot of things now in Magic history, and is going to, I think, really impact multiple formats. Spellskite, which if you remember, Spellskite was a modern staple for so long.
It was.
And it kind of just like gone on the wayside. It's like, now it's like maybe a one-of.
It's too inefficient.
Yeah. But I think a lot of these cards that are now considered Phyrexian, and a lot of the cards that have come out in, this is only one set now, so I'm not gonna get like overly excited about it. But I think this spells a very different ripple effect into not just Commander, but I think Legacy and Modern, and opens up a lot of new space.
It's all the new cards and all the old cards now. There's like suddenly a lot of options.
Think about this. Gataxian Probe could potentially, if it ever becomes unbanned, could be a Phyrexian, could end up being a Phyrexian spell.
Are they tribalizing instance with Phyrexian?
Well, I'm just saying they could, right?
They could. Sure.
It could open that space. That I'm not saying they are. It's a speculation in my part. But they
Tribal's
could.
a cool mechanic.
By the way, Affinity, right? If you remember, Affinity used to play a tremendous amount of Phyrexian type cards.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So does Affinity see a resurgence in some way? Right? So we think of the other one is Infect. The type of deck that I really hate. I really hate Infect.
Infect's a cool deck.
But Infect gets another boost too.
What would they print for Infect?
What is that? What is the blue unblockable Infect creature?
Oh god, it's been so long since I've played an Infect deck.
Oh my god, what is the name? Blighted Agent? Yeah, Blighted Agent is now
That
Phyrexian.
sounds right. It's like a 2-drop blue.
Yeah. That's Phyrexian now.
Okay. I just really, really want to see what people can come up with for Phyrexian Tribal.
Yeah.
In a bunch of different formats.
So, I know I'm going a lot on the whole like Phyrexian thing, but I think this set and the errata that has come out has really made people start thinking, it's like, what could we do with this? And I think it's a great space.
Yeah.
So some of the cards that I really like on this set, outside of some of the known like bombs, so I'm not going to really get into this. By the way, though, Sunfall, that card is a limited frickin' house.
Sunfall?
Sunfall is bananas. It's 3 and 2. It's like it's a modified Wrath of God with an exile and an incubate effect on it. It's flippin' amazing. So it's 3 of any.
Incubate's a cool mechanic.
Oh, it is. It is really, really cool. And it's really complicated and fun to play with. I wouldn't say it's really complicated, but it's
it just leaves some eggs behind after doing its thing.
So it's 3 of any color and 2 white. Exile all creatures. Incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled this way. So
it's a 5-mana one-sided board wipe, more or less.
So think about this though, and it's exile effect now. It's not destroy; it's an exile effect, which at a 5-mana cost is pretty freaking dope. Think about this. This doesn't matter if it's token or non-token creature. So think that for a moment. Next, think of Commander. Next, think of Two-Headed Giant. This card is bananas. I had 7 7 7/7/7 incubate creatures at my disposal when nobody had any creatures on the battlefield.
Interesting.
Think about that for a second.
Token with X plus one plus. Oh, because you get X plus one. You get one incubator token with X plus one counters.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not X tokens with a plus one counter. So it's go tall, not go wide.
No. Yeah. But what I had sorry. Let me rephrase this. There was the what was that card that no, it was 5. It was a it was
Is there one that just has like incubate X times or something?
Yeah, it's incubate 5 times X. And I'm trying to remember which card that was. So it was crazy. Where is it? Hold on a second. I thought it was a white card, but maybe I'm wrong. But I really thought it was a white card. Oh yeah. Oh no. Never mind. I'm confusing. I played that card and then I played Elish Norn. That's what happened.
Oh, sure.
That's what it was. Okay.
Still,
if you know, playing Sunfall and then you follow up the next turn with Elish Norn and a transform, blah, blah. It was gross. It was fun though. It was fun.
I really like this card here, this Kenra Spell Spear.
Yes. Yeah.
I am a sucker for like prowess and young pyromancer effects. That's where I sit as far as favorite cards most of the time. And this thing, I don't know if it's good enough for modern play. It might not be. Trample prowess on a 2/2 is pretty decent. Flipping it's a little expensive. No one wants to play 3 mana at sorcery speed for that. But on the other side, 3/3 trample, ward 2, double prowess. That is, I mean, if anything else, this is going in my cube. Just right away.
So, what I could tell you in limited.
Limited, I imagine it's nuts.
It is fun. I opened 2 of them. and it was fun. I can say, I wouldn't say it was, like how a lot of people say medium at best. I would say it's slightly better than medium, but it isn't absolutely fantastic, if you know what I mean.
It's not Monastery Swiftspear.
No. But it's still good. I mean, it's still really, really good. The Ward 2 makes it good, but the power and toughness doesn't make it great, and that's the part of it. Like, if it was like something slightly better, then it would be phenomenal.
So, Battle is a brand new card type, previously spoiled Tormagorf style, in a card released was it in the last set? Was it in the Commander set? I can't remember now. It was an Atraxa version.
Yeah, so Atraxa in Phyrexian All is one.
Okay, yeah. So it was
All be one.
Scryfall here. Grand Unifier. So Atraxa Grand Unifier came out in the last set, which was All Will Be One, and it reads Legendary Creature Phyrexian Angel, Flying Vigilance, Death Touch Lifelink. When Atraxa Grand Unifier enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, you may put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, with reminder text saying Artifact, Battle, Creature, Enchantment, Instant Land, Planeswalker, and Sorcery are card types. So that was the first time that we saw Battle officially.
Yeah.
Even though there were no battles in that set. Then we get to spoiler season for March of the Machines, and now this is going to be post-release, I believe, when this comes out. But the battle type is effectively... how do I describe this? It reminds me of Planes Chase type cards. Like, they tried to bring Plane Chase into Constructed Magic. But it's a permanent type that sits on the battlefield, and it says, uh, oh God, because all right, I don't know how to. I actually don't. Are there any battles that don't have the siege keyword?
Not yet. No.
Not yet. So it's going to be a little confusing to explain this at the moment because all of the battles currently have a subtype called siege. So bear that in mind. But it says, so here's for my example, Invasion of Ravnica, which is a 5 colorless or a 5 generic mana battle siege. As a siege enters, choose an opponent to protect it. You and others can attack it. When it's defeated, exile it, then cast it transformed. When Invasion of Ravnica enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent in opponent controls that is not exactly 2 colors. And it has 4, I don't know if there's a name for it, but it's effectively 4 health in the bottom right corner, in the same way that a Planeswalker would have loyalty.
Yeah, I think it's I believe, if I remember correctly, it's like 5 battle points or something.
It's 5 currency, 5 resource that acts as a health bar.
Yeah, it's very similar to the loyalty on Planeswalkers.
Yeah. So basically, these siege battles, they enter the battlefield, they have some sort of ETB effect, they enter on your side, and you control them. But your opponent is in charge of keeping it alive, effectively. So you own it, you control it, but you can designate it with attacks. I don't know, can you target it with like a lightning bolt?
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
Does it count as like a player, as like the redirect rule, or how does that work?
Yeah, actually, so in Two-Headed Giant, we flipped a battle with Chain Lightning.
That sounds right up my alley. So yeah, it's super weird. It doesn't work like any other card we've seen before. You can declare attacks targeting it. Your opponent can defend against those attacks that are targeting it. And you're incentivized to destroy your own battle permanent because it'll then flip into some sort of... usually a creature. I think there's like a Planeswalker one, and there might be a... what's the enchantment? A story enchantment.
Oh, there's
a saga.
Saga, yeah.
I think there's a saga one, isn't there?
There's a few of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So one thing I will like to correct there for a moment. You did say target. One of the things that we sort of figured out as we were going through all this during pre-release and such, you can't actually defend a target spell. So in other words, if you target it with lightning, the only way you can defend that is if you counter the spell.
Counterspell it, yeah. Normal rules of combat apply.
Correct. So, so the only way that it can be defended from a physical attack is if the player has a way to physically defend, with a creature or other type of that sort that could block a creature attack. Otherwise, it's the attack will go through, just very similar to if it was a Planeswalker.
I'm seeing now the rules errata specifically, rule number 115.4. Some spells and abilities that refer to damage require, quote, any target or another target or 2 targets or similar rather than target something.
Correct.
These targets may be creatures, players, planeswalkers, or battles. Yep. Other game objects such as non-creature artifacts or spells cannot be chosen. So basically anything that says any target and doesn't specify a type. So if it says player, you can't redirect that to a battle. But Lightning Bolt, for example, says any target. So it would, in that case, be a legal target.
Correct. And so in the case of, say, Chain Lightning, I can cast Chain Lightning and target a battle while my teammate in, say, Two-Headed Giant can also tap 2 red to target the same battle to do 4 damage to that battle.
So then continuing with this example of Invasion of Ravnica, once it's destroyed, or once you defeat it by reducing its health value to 0, it'll exile itself.
Real quick. There's actually an important distinction there between defeated and destroyed. So,
Oh, sure.
so what we also found out during, judge, pre-release kind of thing. There are cards that say destroy target battle.
In which case, I assume it does not flip.
It does not. It is actually
Okay.
it is actually destroyed.
Okay. Yeah, it has to be defeated by reducing its health value to 0. That
Exactly.
is the quantification for defeated. Okay.
Exactly.
Once that's done, it exiles itself, and then it is recast transformed. I think that cast is important because I assume on the other side, if there's something with an ETB, it would get that, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So, Invasion of Ravnica flips into Guildpact Paragon, a 5/5 artifact creature construct that says whenever you cast a spell that's exactly 2 colors, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a card that's exactly 2 colors from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So then you'll just get to keep this. And I think the way the rule transform rules work is if you wanted to, you could like ephemerate this back to being a battle again, and then redefeat it and flip it again.
Yes. Yeah. Because ephemerate is target permanent, not a specific. So I mean, a battle is a permanent.
So this is a very unique card type. Very complex. But it's complex, I think, in a way that doesn't offend me. Again, what I hate is I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't like wall of text that's just obtuse. This doesn't actually have that much text on it. It's just doing a very specific mechanic in a very specific way.
Yeah.
Like a Planeswalker, there's kind of like a lot of head mechanic, but it's not a lot on the card itself. In, say, like Liliana of the Veil is actually a pretty simple card, text-wise.
Right. I mean, I would say the simplest of battles, and probably one of the more powerful battles that are out there from a limited perspective, is Invasion of Lorwyn. So Invasion of Lorwyn is 4 of any color and black and green. When Invasion of Lorwyn enters the battlefield, destroy a target non-elf creature an opponent controls with the power of X or less, where X is the number of lands you control. So at most, you're getting rid of something that is 6 or less power, which is pretty good if you think about that, right? And then when it flips, and I could say that I don't think I've seen this thing flip but once out of multiple matches that I've seen it. But when it flips in the late game, it's not terrible. Winnowing forces power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. So it at the very least, it's going to be a 6/6 elf warrior. I could see this as a commander card. I'll be honest with you.
It's 6 mana to destroy 1 target, which is a lot.
It is,
and 1 for 1 is already kind of bad in Commander.
But no, I hear you, but it's not bad if you're playing black when you can tutor it.
You still have to spend 6 mana on it though, and black doesn't have any ramp.
Green does though.
Okay, green does.
I'm not saying it's great. I could say though that I think this could see him playing Commander. I like
you and I have very different ideas of what's good in Commander. It's difficult to have that conversation because I think we design for different types of Commander games.
I agree. I really agree. But I think that's what makes it great because we have that kind of polarizing conversation. Regardless, I'm not saying this card is amazing, but I would try and play it in Commander.
Sure,
see what happens.
Absolutely.
It just adds another. If you're playing green too, right? Like it just adds another card type when you're talking about, like, say if you want to try to play, green black synergy tribal cards like in Commander, you're a 2-mana Tarmogoyf can be pretty high. I don't know. There's a lot of things. Plus, this is also an elf, so I'm a little sucker for elves.
Yeah, and there's a really solid elf ball commander deck.
Yeah. So,
how do you feel about the complexity of this card? Do you think it adds to or detracts from the game?
No.
I kind of count it similar to Planeswalkers. I like Planeswalkers conceptually, but I know there's a lot of people who were really mad when Planeswalkers came out. Like, this is not Magic the Gathering anymore. I don't know what this is.
So, what I would say from that perspective, I'm not offended by what they're doing here. At first, I was like, what are you doing? But after playing it within practice, I actually don't mind it, because you can either choose to and here, how about this? I'll explain it this way. When I played my first sealed on Arena before I played pre-release, I played Arena first. What I could say is I just ignored the battles at first that people were playing, until I couldn't ignore them anymore. So it adds a depth to the game that really takes it to a different level.
It makes combat. There's a whole nother layer to combat now.
Yes.
If your opponent is playing these.
Yes, exactly. And especially if they have early drops and they're playing these later, then it's like, oh, okay, well then. But here's the other thing. I have had multiple games where my opponents were not didn't have the opportunity to flip their battles. Like, they've had 3 battles on the board and none of them been able to flip.
They require a lot of resources to flip. First of all, they do cost mana.
Yeah.
So that's not negligible, and then you have to figure out how to destroy it. Instead of spending that resource attacking your opponent, you're spending that resource attacking yourself, which is that's a lot. It's a lot to ask.
It is. I think, though, from a limited perspective, I think they're a very interesting add, and I do welcome them to the limited format as a former trying to be a competitive limited player. I welcome them, and I really like the idea of them, and I appreciate what they do to the limited format. What I'm going to say about Constructed is probably not shocking, but I think they're going to be complete garbage.
I think that Constructed requires too much efficiency for these things to see any real play.
And actually, let me rephrase that, because I don't play Standard. I don't play what's that other one? Traveler?
Pioneer?
No.
Oh, you play Pioneer.
I do play Pioneer. What's the other one? Alchemy. Sorry, Alchemy in Arena.
Oh, Alchemy's not a real format. That's the redheaded stepchild we kick under the rug.
I think some of those formats, I'm not going to. I don't know if I can. From an educated perspective, really say that if they're going to be good or not, because I don't know. Like things like Historic and some of these other ones. But when we talk about things like Modern, Legacy, Vintage, I think battles, they have a long way to go before they even enter the Modern and any of those Eternal formats. Now, I could see there are some potential ones that may see Legacy play. I do air quotes there, but I highly doubt it. They'll try them, and it'll just like fizzle out.
There are weird things that can break out in Legacy. It's because it's such a spell heavy format that if you have the right combination of actual permanents, you can just like wreck stuff. What was that dungeon delving card that like they had to ban in Legacy because it like broke the format?
Oh, I don't remember.
There was something from like AFR that like randomly broke the format.
Oh wow, yeah, no, I don't remember that one.
There's some other. So we talked about battles. There's a couple other like particular things with this set I wanted to talk about. Phyrexian mana is back.
Yeah,
They were hyper careful with it this time around, but Phyrexian mana is back.
I like it. I like what they did with it. I like the fact that it's a second. In most cases, it's a secondary flip mechanic of many cards. Um, I think it was smart. I think it was I wouldn't say it was restrictive, but it was very deliberate in how they did it. And I think it's great because that means in the Commander format, some of these cards can't be played unless you're playing the specific color combo. So,
Sure.
I think
Although that's already a rule, isn't it? Don't Commander players get up in arms about Phyrexian mana being part of the identity?
yeah, I mean they do. But what I'm saying is, it's great that you like. So, I'll say Tarkir Duneshaper, right? It has to be now a green and white deck. It can't just be played in a green deck.
Oh, because the text box counts too.
Yeah. So
Right.
So from my perspective, like the way that they did it was very deliberate and very, very well done. And I think it's probably some of the best design they did around Phyrexian mana, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely well designed. I think personally they went a little too safe with it. I would have enjoyed seeing more Phyrexian mana in the actual mana costs. I'm glad that they didn't do any free spells. We didn't need another mental misstep. We didn't need another git probe. But like, I don't know. I like sometimes having the option to just pay life for things. It's a cool twist.
I think for the initial cost of a card to come out, I think I imagine they've heard a lot of feedback from players that having a card that could be played in any card in any color, regardless of the color identity of it, is a problem, right?
Yes,
So,
yeah, that I agree with.
and
But
so
you could do something like make something cost one black pip and one Phyrexian black pip,
fair,
for example.
fair enough. But I think the way that they did it from like they used mostly within the flip cards to create the color identity. I'm actually really impressed with that. I think that's really stinking cool.
It's a really good design. I just think they could have pushed it a little harder. They were a little too safe with it, in my opinion. That's my literal only complaint, which is not even really a complaint. I'm just greedy.
You greedy modern players.
It's what I
am. But no, I think it was intelligent. I really liked it. I guess to your complaint, like I guess I would agree that I guess there could have been like, what if it was a black Phyrexian with a white mana? Like, I guess I could see that happen, and I think that could work. I'm not sure.
I guess the kind of thing I'm looking for is like reprint Dismember, but make that third mana that you force to play, make it colored. So it can't go in every deck, but you can opt out of 2 of those pips.
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of like the balance that I would enjoy the most.
But would that make it more restrictive from the Phyrexian way? I guess what I'm saying is does that take away from the Phyrexian perspective of it becomes a little more restrictive that way? It doesn't stay within the play space of Phyrexian mana.
I guess I'm not sure what you mean by that.
So, like, again, going back to Dismember, right? Paying 4 mana, paying 4 life for black, and 1. If Phyrexian is about all color, right? And so the idea here is, from the lore perspective and the story perspective, in that way, does that take away from kind of the idea of Phyrexian mana that was originally meant to be? Because you never see it where it's like two colors kind of thing, right? Or you don't.
Sure.
And you don't see it.
Well, you do. Have you seen what is it? The Scarecrow King, the Reaper Lord, the Reaper King, the Reaper King. The one that's a 5-color Phyrexian card with 5 different color pips, but they're like pip and 2.
Yeah. But there's still, I mean, yes. Okay.
Phyrexia was originally all black, if you recall. It wasn't really until, what was it, Scars of Mirrodin, that whole block where they became colored, like different colored. And then it was like, oh, we've got 5 distinct factions of Phyrexians that are all very dedicated to their one color.
Right, because they wanted to consume all, right? That was the idea. That's the idea of the whole Phyrexian. Like
each faction wants to consume everything for its own color.
Right, exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where Dismember doesn't make sense to go in any deck. Because currently it's 2 black Phyrexian pips and 1 generic. So you can put that in any color deck you want, as long as you're willing to pay the life for it. But if, say, you had Dismember that was 2 black Phyrexian and 1 regular black pip, now it's still restricted to black-only decks. But you can still opt out of 2 of those pips by paying life.
But what, I guess where I'm going there is what Phyrexian card has done that?
None so far. That's kind of what I was hoping to see in this set.
Right. I think that would deviate from the idea of what the mechanic of Phyrexian mana has been in the past. And so that's what I was getting at, is like, I think that would deviate from the way that they've designed that functionality previously.
I don't think it does, because it's... I guess I don't understand why making it not generic gets away from the design.
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying, like, none of the cards have ever done that before, so, like, they always made it seem, oh, actually, no, that's wrong.
Oh, yeah, they had the Planeswalkers. There were Planeswalkers in, was it the last set that had Phyrexian pips?
But it was dual mana, though, right?
If you paid into the Phyrexian pip with life, you got an extra effect, is how they worked.
Right, but it was dual colors, so like it was like black or white or green or red.
Because it was the regular Planeswalkers in their normal color schemes completed.
I guess Omnath Locus of All does that.
It's got a black pip right at the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I guess my argument is wrong. But because
that was one of the things before. They wanted to try Phyrexian mana originally, but they tuned it wrong, so that getting out of it allowed you to ignore the color restriction or just ignore the mana cost, because some cards became free if you paid the life for them, entirely free. Both of those were kind of design mistakes, so they tried to rein it back, and I think one of the things they could have done is kept making it cheaper but still force you into a color with it.
Right.
They didn't explore that a ton in here, other than the things that were already like multicolored, like the Planeswalkers or like the Omnath.
Right. No, that's fair. Okay, fine.
Destroyed by facts and logic.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Dismember did not come back in this set.
I think it's the issue. Dismember is a really cool card, but because it becomes a generic card to go in any deck, that's the issue with Dismember. From a set design perspective. It's a really fun and cool modern card. I love the card, but it is a design mistake.
It's great and limited in that way.
Absolutely. It's a really good card. It's a design mistake.
I think it's design fun. For life.
It's absolutely fun.
For life, though, for -5/-5, I mean, I mean, in all realities, in today's Magic, that's not super great in most cases.
It's a fair life for damage trade. The thing that makes it a design mistake is you can play it in any color with 0 restriction.
Yeah, that's fine.
We talked about how this set is absolutely huge, right?
Kind of.
380 cards. Now that it's all... Well, we thought it was going to be bigger. That's the thing. That's kind of where I'm leaning in here. During reveal season, we saw 4 digits in the serial numbers.
During the episode that never came to light because we screwed up with Hometown MTG. You're right. We talked about
Hometown MTG did not screw up. We screwed up.
No, we screwed up big time.
Public apology to Hometown MTG. We messed that up.
We messed it up big time. But yeah, so we did talk about it at length, but not to this audience. But yes,
that's what I'm trying to bring up those talking points because I can't remember what actually got released because we lost a lot of that footage.
Yeah.
But yeah, during spoiler season, we saw the 4-digit serial numbers and we were like, is this set going to be 4 digits worth of cards? Is it going to be that enormous? And what did we see now, Chris? You pointed this out to me before we started recording.
Yeah, so this set is only 387 cards. That's it. That's all it is, right? So 4 digits does not make sense for this set at all. Why would you have 4 digits for this set? It doesn't make sense. So what I've kind of thought about and what I've been thinking about is, like, there's a couple of things. One, there are the list cards that are printed in set card in set boosters that have collector numbers. I think the serial number cards, I feel like that's something that also is going to ramp up at some point, and they're going to really, I think those have taken off, and I think they're going to embrace those more. So I think what they're kind of doing is I think they are resetting their templates to now accommodate 4 digits in the set numbers. That's really what I think they're doing.
Sure. So it's not necessarily going to affect this set,
No.
But it's leaving them the opportunity for the future.
Yeah. The question
when
here,
do you think we'll see? How long do you think it'll take to see sets with 4 digits worth of serial cards in them?
I think it'll be next year. We're in April. This is the first set with 4 digits. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is this year. I mean, I guess it could be this year.
I know we've got some serialized cards already, right? Because I think the Ragavan has, like, editions on it.
Yeah. I do think this is deliberate. I do think there's a reason for it. It's a very interesting minutia that I don't think many people are talking about. But there are 4 digits on these cards, which is new. It's the first time that we've seen 4 digits on the bottom of a card, as well as the serialized cards. And so, in my opinion, this is to set up for much larger sets. Here's another thought, right? Keep in mind, all of these cards, like the borders and the printing and the stamping of all these cards, these are all templates, right? So they need to have these templates and available to be able to accommodate, the correlation between all of the number of cards that they would have in a set. Here's the thought. Here is a speculation. What if they create an ultimate, like the ultimate Masters edition that has over 1,000 cards in it?
The Ultimate Masters edition of Ultimate Destiny?
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, like that is where you would see 1,000 card set, right?
Man, that would be sick.
Think about it.
Every card that's worth more than $10 ever gets reprinted. I'm down.
I mean, is that a legitimate thought? A legitimate speculation? Maybe.
I could see an absolutely enormous Masters set. I could see that on the horizon.
That's what they'll call it. The enormous Masters set. I mean, what else? I mean, what are some other thoughts? When I say a 4-digit card set, we can't see a standard set to be 4 digits.
You mentioned that all the different archetyping frames, the different types of frames and the different masterpiece treatments and things like that, and my head immediately goes to, you could use that 4th digit as like just a machine code key digit to tell it to switch the tool for a different frame. That's not clearly what they did, but that's where my brain went.
That could be. That's not a bad idea. And that might be a better way to do correlation, right, from a printing perspective.
Yeah.
Because they do still have collation issues, right? Like they still have a lot of printing issues with their boxes, right?
Yes, they do.
And in fact, Hometown MTG released a video that talked about this, and there are lots of, and lots not as in lots as in volume, but lots meaning a lot of boxes,
allotments of shipped
Yeah.
product.
like a pallet, right, or sets of pallets, right? And you see this around in some other areas too of people talking about this, where March the Machine bundles set boosters, all 7 or 8 boosters within that bundle have a list card. They have issues right now with collation that is very hard to manage because they have way too many quote unquote styles or versions that they are printing within their boosters. So to your point, that is potentially a very valid thought to use that fourth digit to affect print collation.
I think I don't know that that's what they did though. Like it's definitely a good idea. But I'm looking now at some, like, you've got a normal card and then you've got a masterpiece card, and that fourth digit is it's 0 for both of them.
Yeah.
So they're clearly not utilizing that system.
Not for this set.
No.
However,
Which, with the number of masterpiece cards and different frames in the set, they probably should have.
they probably could have.
Segue.
Segue.
There's a lot of masterpieces here, Jim.
Oh my God. So so there's a video that the professor released, I think it was either today or yesterday, I can't remember, that talked about the Aftermath boxes, right? 5-card packs and what have you. But one of the things was there's by the way, Aftermath is only like 50 cards. That's all it is. Right? There's not a lot of cards in Aftermath. But one of the things he pointed out that I thought was hilarious and very, very true is in this 50-card set, one card has 6 different treatments.
Oh, wow. I haven't looked at the spoiler video yet.
6 treatments for one card.
That's an engineering nightmare.
And, you know, like, if you really think about that, that's how you, like, inflate your pack prices. Like, you know, there's a lot of craziness going on with that.
That's exactly where all that money's going.
Yeah. So, yes, I think the amount of masterpiece / styles / showcase, whatever you want to call it, it's getting pretty bonkers. It's getting to a point now that does it really matter what you get at this point? Nothing special anymore, in a way.
I think so. Special is the wrong way to look at it, I think. Are you going to be the only person on the planet who owns a full art land? No, absolutely not. Are you going to be the only person on the planet who owns a particular treatment of a card? No, absolutely not. But I don't look at these alternate frames as ways of making things special. I look at them as cosmetic customization options. I'm going to run a specific type of card frame. Like, I prefer a specific art in a specific frame, so I'm going to get that combination, and that's how I'm going to use it to bling out my deck.
Yeah.
And the more of that exists, that's all fine by me. It just drives the average cost down, especially for normal versions.
I think the part that kind of, like... So, truth be told, right? Like, I'm a collector of sets. I'm a collector of cards, right? Like, I like to collect versions of cards. right? And sure, I guess maybe this is the quote unquote entitlement that I have of myself of I want the versions that I want, but then do I want all the versions or do I just want one of the versions?
So you're as a collector, you're having a hard time because there's too many things to collect, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Like I'm a nostalgia freak. Like I've been playing the game since 1994, right? So I love the old border cards and the retro frames and so on and so forth. And I really hate the fact that we have these retro frames and then we also have the borderless versions, which I'm like, shit, those borderless versions, man, those are awesome too. And then
you can't play both at the same time. I mean, you can.
You can, but like, you know, like I get to the point where I'm like, dang it, why are you doing this to me, Wizards? And I don't think the answer is, well, just don't buy that version or just don't buy what you don't want. But like, what if I want them all? And that's a big problem.
I mean, at that point, it kind of just sounds like a you problem.
No, I don't think that's just a me problem. That's all collectors' problem, right? Like people who collect these sets and would like, like the old school people, like myself and others who like to like complete a set. Like think about video games, like completing something, right?
Sure.
Like what the, like what the heck, man? Like this is not healthy.
Now to that end, if there's so many alternate versions, that's going to drive the individual cost down for any one of those cards. So like, it makes it easier to collect them, right? Because they're cheaper.
Well, compounding to like 6 different versions, no. Think of Ragavan, right? Like,
how much is the new Ragavan going for?
Lowest one on TCG Player is $49.
Yeah, 5024 is the suggested price. That's cheaper than the actual like MH2 printing or MH1 printing or whatever. Like I could sell my Ragavans right now and just buy these.
Well, they're the Modern Horizons Ragavans they're like $56. So it's not that different.
All right, so let's move on. We kept trying to bring it up earlier, but let's actually like take a hard look at how this is going to affect, or how we predict this is going to affect other formats outside Standard, right? So let's talk about Modern. Let's talk about Pioneer. We can talk about Draft. You've drafted a lot with it. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about that.
Sealed. I haven't I've drafted
limited environment.
Yeah, I've drafted once on Arena, and I'm gonna draft more here soon. Draft was kind of fun, but Sealed has been incredible.
So, what are some of your favorite cards from the set, and how do you think those will affect other formats outside of Standard?
So. The first thing I'm going to mention is not actually a card. It's actually a new mechanic, and that's Incubate. I think anything Incubate is going to have a slow but residual effect on Modern and Legacy specifically, because the Incubate mechanic has a very weird situation to where it's not in its incubate state. It's not interactable unless you have like say things like Artifact Hate, which is very very sparse with both formats. So I think rather than saying a specific card as one of the top things that I think would impact the format, I think it's really, and it's still cards because Incubate does create cards, but I do think Incubate is probably one of the biggest things that will impact some of these legacy formats.
Sure. It's a legacy too because it doesn't always have a lot of creatures on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So if you can get incidental bodies for doing other things, I think legacy will really look forward to being able to do that in the right circumstances.
Especially because it's considered a token, right? So I think because of the fact that it's considered a token, that token effects could also like fall into the realm and kind of fold into Commander as well in that perspective when you talk about tokens manners kind of decks. Not to mention, I'm gonna call out to your wife's deck that I very much dislike playing against.
Which one's that?
The token generator one that she plays once in a while.
Oh yeah.
So I think though, not saying that deck is going to be directly impacted by Incubator, but I feel like the Incubator mechanic is one of those that is going to be a highlight from this set and will continue to be a highlight for time to come.
I have a similar thought about the backup mechanic. This one has me intrigued. I don't know, so I'm kind of just like filtering out right now to see what all the specific backup cards are. But I think it's a mechanic that has a lot of potential, even if it doesn't necessarily have any good examples of powerful backup cards at the moment. So backup is the one we talked about earlier, where it comes in, it buffs a creature, whether that be itself or another creature, and then it can bestow that same effect. So you've got like this stacking creature synergy that isn't type restrictive, mind you. That's kind of the big part of it. Like, it's not just like humans you control get +1/+1. No, this comes in, can buff itself or buff any other creature you have regardless of type, and give it some extra abilities. Like, there's a lot of potential for some souping here, for some sort of like Maverick or Taxes maybe, or humans to morph itself. I think we're gonna see backup in Pioneer for sure. I'm interested to see if it's good enough for Modern, because just generic mid-range creature decks are kind of struggling right now, outside of things like Omnath that are doing really like explicitly broken things.
Yeah, I think there are some specific cards that I see that could really kind of expand the bounds of certain decks, and I think humans would be one of them. So I think of Death Greeter's Champion, which has also dash. I know that's it's a very outlier card.
Dash and backup, interesting.
Yeah. So, but it is a 3 and 1 red, so it's not an inexpensive dash.
No, that's an expensive dash. Yeah.
But I mean, I think there are instances where some of this works. Like, what are some of the other ones? I'm trying to find them. And
Mirror Shield Hoplite doubles your backup efficiency. That's kind of interesting.
Yes.
Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a backup ability, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for that copy. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's super niche. Like, I don't think anyone's going to build a deck around backup necessarily.
No.
I think at most you're going to see 1 or 2 backup cards slip into other existing creature decks. But this is cool. It's cool ideas.
No, I agree. I think there are some really cool cards in this space. In Limited, I can say that it's really cool. This is not a great card, but I think this is an example of a space that I think could work, and that's Bola Slinger. I tried to use it, and I kind of like cut it later, but Bola Slinger is backup 1, and the ability that the creature that you put the backup 1 on is whenever this creature attacks, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls. So, like, this, I mean, Bulletslinger could see some commander play in some of these, like, places. Probably not, but again, it's one of those where this is an example of a play space where backup put balanced in a way. I don't think Bulletslinger is balanced because it's on a 2/2 body for backup 1. But I think these types of cards can evolve over time, and I think backup is one of those mechanics that has a lot of possibilities, and it's probably one of the best parts of this new set as far as new mechanics.
Absolutely. I think the two cards I'm thinking might have the most impact outside of Standard are Scornblade Berserker and Saiba Cryptomancer.
Yes.
Scornblade Berserker is a black, it's just a 1-mana black card that reads backup 1. When this creature enters the battlefield, put +1 counter, yada yada yada. So it gives a +1 counter, and it bestows the ability, pay 1, sack this creature, draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of potential for that, particularly in maybe the Rakdos Sacrifice deck in Pioneer. I think that's a really good card for that. And then there's Cyber Cryptomancer, which I think is less likely to see play, but it's still very interesting. It's 1 and a blue for a 0/1 flash creature with backup 1 that bestows hexproof.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a protection spell. It's a counter spell, effectively, that makes your creature bigger, but it also leaves a body on the board. And it's kind of versatile. One thing I didn't mention that backup definitely ties into, but there's a lot of support in this set for Hardened Scales in Modern, which is a deck that seriously needed a buff for a while, and there's like quite a few things in here for Hardened Scales. Backup is something you can absolutely use in Hardened Scales. But you do have things in here like, say, maybe you splash blue for Cyber Cryptomancer to have a protection spell for some of your creatures. Suddenly you're 2 mana to keep a creature on the board, and that backup is now going to put 2, maybe 3 or 4 +1 counters on it when it comes in.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. There's another version of the Ozolith in this set, which is a pretty big deal. Let's see here. I had a tab open for that.
But think about this. With backup, before you kind of go to the next one, right? With backup, you now have access to share other key abilities with other creatures.
Yes.
Right? So things like Death Touch.
That's the big takeaway from backup.
Death Touch, Lifelink, some of these other keywords that we've been living with for a long time. Infect, right?
Is there an Infect one?
No. Well, not yet. But I'm just saying.
Not yet. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, there is a endless possibility and potential there. Flying, that's another one, right?
Flying is one.
That's evasiveness, right? So there are many of these potential instances that backup can continue to evolve. And that's where I think backup is by far the hands down winner of this set.
Oh yeah, this is the mechanic I'm the most excited for.
Yeah.
This is the mechanic I think has the most likelihood of just being a generic build around mechanic. It does the Adeptus Mechanicus thing where it's just a bunch of stacking buffs all at once, and then it hits you hard with everything.
What I'm curious about, and what I'd be interested to see is the time that they would potentially, and they may not, but create flash cards that have backup.
There's already the one because it's the flash hexproof, but I think it's the only one.
Yeah, I think it's only one. But actually
flash backup is a really cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty sweet. And if they can lean into that space, that would be pretty sweet. That could actually be pretty cool.
Modern Horizons 3 flash backup.
Thank you for listening to our latest episode. You can comment on this and other episodes at galaxygametv.com. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitch for additional gaming content. Also, if you want to support our show or Galaxy Game TV, check out our Patreon for exclusive content and great giveaways to our supporters. Until next time, we bid you farewell.